StrayAllDay.com.
You're now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves you and anyone else out there also to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. You know what that energy feels like. And then we put all this together into one bundle, one framework, one mindset, one approach, several frameworks actually. And this daily masterclass where I share a new one with you every single day. Yes, daily masterclass that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is understanding your blind spots. Now, before I go into the introduction, explanation of the topic, let me tell you that I have a text line where I want you to send me a text and tell me the best insight you got from today's masterclass. If I reminded you of something that you knew about before but you hadn't thought about in a while, or something that you need to start utilizing again because you have gotten away from it for whatever reason, because life got in the way, you had other things on your mind, or if you have a question about anything or a follow-up question about something else, or just want me to send you a link to get your free copy of my book, The Third Day, send me a text at 305-384-6894. Again, 305-384-6894. Now, understanding your blind spots. Why is this a topic? When I was being taught how to drive, my dad taught me how to drive when I was maybe 17, 18-ish when I first started driving. He taught me that whenever you switch lanes, that you should always turn really quickly because obviously you want to see what's in front of you out of the windshield. But before you switch lanes, anytime you're on a road with more than one lane, to always turn really quickly and check that you might be veering into someone else's lane because your side mirrors don't see everything. That the side mirrors on a car, the ones that are right outside of the driver and passenger door, they don't catch certain things. There's certain blind spots that those mirrors have. You can see everything is right on the side of your car and maybe right behind it, but it might be somebody in a spot that the mirror doesn't catch, that if you try to switch lanes, you'd be veering damn near right into that car. That's what they call it, a blind spot. Now, luckily enough for me and for us, and maybe even for you, a lot of cars these days have blind spot sensors. So when you, for example, when I drive now, if I was to put on my signal to switch lanes to go over to the right lane or to the left lane, if there's a car in my blind spot that I can't see in the mirror, then the car starts beeping and letting me know. And I've been in other cars where like a bright red light will come on the mirror and it's a visual signal or an audible signal that lets me know there's something in your blind spot, don't go over there. So nowadays I don't even have to turn around to quickly check because the cars that we have now, a lot of times they're equipped to basically let you know that there's something in your blind spot without you having to look. So I think that makes it safer for everybody. So shout out to the auto industry for that. Now, as I said, many cars watch that blind spot. So today's masterclass aims to help you understand the value of seeing those blind spots for yourself in life. Now, in life, you don't have some automated system that's going to beep out loud whenever there's something that you might not be seeing. Actually, let me back up. That's actually incorrect. We do have an automated system. It is called our instincts. It's called your skill of discernment. It is called your skill of judgment. And I'll give you a couple episodes where I've actually talked about that. I dove into discernment in episode number 1431, your skill of perception and judgment. And I've talked about instinct in many episodes. I'll give you a couple of them here. Episode 1003, how to prepare yourself to play off of instinct in life. Episode number 943, the tools for developing your killer instinct. And episode number 1448, a very important one, how to reconnect with your instincts and gut feelings, which is something that a lot of people need if we spend a little bit too much time listening to voices outside of ourselves, not listening through the bones, but through the air, as I discussed in my book, Work on Your Game. If you don't have Work on Your Game, go claim your free copy of Mirror Motivation, and then on the next page, we will offer you the advanced mental game advanced bundle, or when you claim the third day. If you already got Mirror Motivation, go get the third day, and on the next page, we're going to offer you the mental game super duper bundle, which is 4 books: the mental workbook, bulletproof mindset manual, 30 days of discipline manual, and Work on Your Game. We'll give you all 4 along with the third day. So that's 5 books that you're going to get right there. Again, that's at thirddaybook.com. So let's get into our points here today. The topic, once again, is understanding your blind spots in life. Number 1, accept the fact that you cannot see yourself in the mirror. This is something that one of my mentors, Donna St. Louis, would always say. I think it's something she even talked about in her own speeches. Not being able to see yourself in the mirror means there are certain angles that you can't see about yourself that someone else would see very easily, but you can't see them because you don't have eyes in the back of your head. There's certain parts of you that you can't see even if you're looking in the mirror. For example, if any of you is a barber or you know a barber, most barbers do not cut their own hair because there are certain angles that they can't see on their own heads, but if they're looking at somebody else's head, they can see everything. And this is the reason why a lot of doctors, most doctors I would think, don't perform operations on themselves, because there's certain things that they can't see, certain angles that they can't get to on their own bodies, but somebody else could easily get to those things. There are things about you, both positive and areas for improvement, we'll say, that you can't even notice very well in yourself, but somebody else can see them very clearly in you and they can show them to you. Now, you may listen to them, you may ignore them, you may not even notice that they're trying to show you, but you can't see them, even if you try. As human beings, we all, as individuals, we are too close, too connected, and too emotionally invested in ourselves to look at ourselves and our actions in a fully objective manner. Now, some of us can be more objective, have more potential to be objective about ourselves than others, but none of us can be completely objective about ourselves. But it is much easier and possible for us to be completely objective about somebody else. I could be very objective about you, and as much as I try to be objective about myself, there are holes in my objectivity when it comes to me. Why? Because I'm too close. I'm too emotionally connected to me. I'm too connected to me. I've seen too much of myself to be completely objective about me, but you could be much more objective about me. I mean, if you have the capability, because you're not as emotionally attached to me and my life as I am. Other people can see things in you really well. Doesn't mean everybody can. You find the right people who can see things in you that you can't see. You want to keep those people around, even if, and this is often the case, they're going to see things and point things out in you that you might not want to pay attention to. You might not want to hear about. You might not want to be held responsible or accountable for now that this is being pointed out, but they will help you grow. This is the value of having mastermind groups or mentors or coaches or accountability partners or just a friend who will just tell you what the hell you need to hear. Sometimes we need people who will tell us what we need to hear, and even people who are not friends, but they're around you. I talked about this in episode number 1031, the value of not friends in your life. And what I mean by not friends is this person who is around you, and maybe you do consider them a friend or an associate or a business partner or a coworker, but they are of the mentality of, listen, I don't need to be your friend, but I am going to tell you what you need to know. All right, there is a huge value in having people around you who don't need you to like them, but you do need to listen to them. Because those are the people who can help you grow, because they can tell you the shit that your friends won't tell you, because if your friends told you, they wouldn't be your friends anymore because you'd be too offended by what they said to you. You need people around you who don't care about offending you, and you need to be mentally tough enough to listen to them. Let's move on to point number 2. Actually, before I even go to that, one last thing on point number 1. This is why the law of association is so important. You want to associate with, of course, you want to have your friends, people who will tell you the good stuff about you and sugarcoat everything and make you feel good about yourself. But you also need those people around you who really don't give a damn how you feel about them or what they said, but they're going to tell you the things that you need to know. And again, you need to have the mental toughness to absorb it and just play around with it and see if maybe there's some truth within it. I got a whole episode on the law of association coming soon. Point number 2. Topic once again today is understanding your blind spots. Have people around you. I just stepped on this point here at the end of point number 1. Have people around you who have no emotional connection to your situation and no emotional connection to your feelings. These are people who can see things much more objectively about you and your situation than you will ever be able to. Now, again, since every other human being on this planet outside of you has much more possibility of seeing you objectively than you do, that does not mean, even though everybody has that possibility, that does not mean that any old person that you find on the street should be able to give you some objective feedback about you, because some people just don't have the insight, some people don't have the intelligence, some people don't have the detachment, some people are so caught up in their own selves they don't have even time to notice what another person has going on. And have you ever known anybody like that? They just don't have the time to kind of give anything to other people, even though they will easily take from you. I'm sure all of you have had friends like that, and I use the term loosely, but you want people around you who can see things in you more objectively than you can, and they're smart enough and intelligent enough to be able to articulate it to you in a way that you can use. You need these people around you. Again, law of association. You need to find these people. These people become your friends. They become your partners. They become your masterminds. They become your accountability. This is what they do. And you do the same for them. So if you want someone who can do this for you, you need to be able to do it for other people. So if you don't have the skill, then you're not going to attract anyone who has the skill. So make sure you're getting around people. And every time I'm telling you, make sure you find people who are, and then I'm filling in the blank with stuff. You need to make sure you qualify for everything that you want around you. So if you want people around you who are smart, you need to be smart. You want people around you who are critical thinkers, you need to be a critical thinker. You want people around you who are willing to give, you need to be willing to give. You can't attract what you do not have. All right, you attract who you are. The law of association, you become the average of the people you spend the most time with, and you attract the people that you are. All right, the people who are coming around you are for some reason on the same wavelength as you. So if you find a lot of losers are coming around you, there's something about you that's attracting those losers. All right, don't be mad at them, be mad at yourself. So again, when I do the episode on the law of association, we'll dive deeper into that. So anyway, make sure these people are smart so that they can alert you to important things that you need to know. Also, make sure these people have your best interests in mind so that they can help you leverage your strengths and work on or minimize your weaknesses. And by this point, you should be seeing the value of choosing the right associations. And again, when I do the episode on the law of association, you will understand this value even more. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is understanding and doing something about your blind spots. Number 3, accept that you are not all knowing, even about yourself. Yes, you don't know everything, even about you. Now, you probably are the expert in you. Actually, let me not say probably. You are the expert in you. If anybody knows, whoever knows the most about you in life is going to be you. Even if all you know is 10% of you, nobody else knows more than 10%. You know 90%, nobody else knows more than that 90. You are the you expert, but you don't know everything about you. All right, so there are certain things, maybe another 1% that somebody else could see in you that would add to your 90% that you would never get that 1% on your own, even if you already got the other 90 by yourself. You are the foremost expert. That's not the same as knowing everything. Being a foremost expert in something doesn't mean you know everything about something. Those are two different things. It just means you know more than everybody else. The last 2% or 10% or 80% about you can only be known through leveraging other people using their eyes and their insight to see what you are incapable of seeing just by the laws of physics. You can't see the back of your own head without a couple of mirrors. The law of the mastermind embodies this very concept that you have people around you who can see things in you and see things from you that you can't see in and from yourself, and you leverage those relationships to let them give to you. You also give to them, and everybody benefits from this. Is a third mind created when two minds come together in a spirit of perfect harmony, at least when both of those minds are on the same wavelength. And the only way they can get into harmony is by being on the same wavelength. They wouldn't even talk to each other if they weren't. Two or more people coming together, that creates that third mind. All right. And when that third mind is created, what happens is both of you benefit because you can see that person's blind spots and they can see your blind spots. And the synergy between you, it basically creates another entity, not necessarily a human, but another entity that raises the level of everybody. This is 1 + 1 = 3. That's the essence of the concept of the mastermind. The mastermind doesn't have to be 2 people. It can be 300 people. It can be 10. But this is what it's all about. And the association, the most important thing that I want you to get from what we're talking about here today, when we talk about understanding your blind spots, is you have to be the type of person that you want to attract around you. So since you can't see all your own blind spots, ask yourself, what type of person would I want around me who can see things that I can't see in myself? Who do I want offering me some feedback and seeing some things in me that I'm not seeing on my own? How do I want them to communicate it to me? What kind of energy does this person need to have? What level of intelligence do they need to have? How articulate does this person need to be? What traits do they have that I want to rub off on me? And what traits do I want them to already have that just would make me more welcoming of this individual, want this person around me? And whatever answers you come up with, then look in the mirror and ask yourself if you fit that description. Because if you don't, then you will never attract that person. Let's recap today's class, which is understanding your blind spots. When I was learning to drive, I was taught to always turn quickly and check for my blind spots because there are certain angles and certain spots that even your side mirrors cannot see in a car. Now, these days, a lot of cars actually look at your blind spots for you. So the automated system that we have in our own minds is not as explicit as the beeping car or the red light that comes on in the car when you're switching into a lane that is occupied by your blind spot or in your blind spot and occupied. But we do have one that is more subtle called our instincts, called our gut feelings, called our hunches. But a lot of times we turn that off. We don't listen to it as much as we should. So today I'm going to tell you how you can help yourself in understanding and minding your blind spots. Point number one, you can't see yourself in the mirror. This is why barbers don't cut their own hair. Hairstylists usually don't do their own hair. There are things about you, both positive and area for improvement things, that you can't grasp so well, but other people can see clearly, and they will show to you if you get the right type of people around you. Us humans are too close, too connected, too emotionally invested in our own selves to see ourselves and our actions as objectively as we should, but other people can see us very clearly. This is why the law of association matters so much. Again, look out for that masterclass coming soon. Point number two, have people around you who do not have any emotional connection to your situation. This is the value of not friends, as I talked about in episode 1031. They can be objective about your stuff. They can tell you to your face what you need to know and don't give a damn how you feel about it. You need these people around you. Otherwise, you're going to be getting you can have a whole bunch of friends who blow a whole bunch of smoke up your ass and tell you how great you are, or they sugarcoat things when they really need to give it to you straight, and you never actually get the damn point because they weren't willing to be objective and be clear with you. Get people around you who do not need you to like them or like what you're saying to them. These are people who have your best interests at heart. Doesn't mean they have your best feelings at heart. Those are two different things. Point number three, accept that you are not all knowing, even about yourself. You are the foremost expert about yourself, indeed, but that's not the same as you know everything about yourself. Again, understand the difference. The last 2% or 20% about you can only be known by you through leveraging other people. This is why the law of the mastermind matters so much. You get other people around you. You can see things that they can't see, and then their blind spots, they can see your blind spots. So both of you are benefiting each other, but the two of you separated can't help each other, and you can't even help yourselves. This is the value of associations. This is the value of having other people around you. This is why I told you in the year 2021, one of the most important things you want to focus on is getting the right people around you. I talked about this in episode number 1693. The one best thing to focus on for 2021 is getting the right people around you. If you don't have those people around you, let me tell you why. It's because you are not that type of person. That's why those people are not coming around. So when you change you to become that type of person, you will start attracting those people. And if you want to change who you are being as a person, you need to go claim your free copy of my book, The Mirror of Motivation, the Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. Get it by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. Send me a text. Tell me the best thing you got from today's episode. What are you going to do different or think different based on what you heard today? My number, 305-384-6894. Work on your game. Dre, all